the voice of Alabama politics, with your host, Bill Brett. Now, the #1 political show in Alabama, The V.
Coming to you live from day 7 of the Speaker Mike Hubbard Criminal Trial. I'm Bill Brett.
I'm Susan Brett.
We're here for the V and the Alabama Political Reporter. Susan, it was kind of a snoozer day, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a snoozer. There was a lot of information, a lot of technicalities about companies and how they work and how their lobbyists are and so forth. But it was an important day.
It was. Robert Abrams, better known as Bobby Abrams, a man out of New York State who has companies here in Auburn, was paying Hubbard $10,000 a month, supposedly to sell cups.
Yeah, to sell cups to different companies, especially to try to get into the sports network and some things like that. But I don't think it was real successful.
Well, they put up all the checks he received.
Right.
And you notice a lot of these contracts ended right near when he got indicted.
That's true. What happened actually was Mr. Abrams didn't really address all that because he wasn't really familiar with what went on.
Right.
It was actually Tina Belafonte, who was the second witness today, that was witness to all of that.
And she was the president of Capital Cups, which makes cups for the NFL, Major League Baseball, lots of businesses.
Yeah, and what they were trying to do at this point was to get them into the Southeastern Conference and get them into this network of college football that's apparently very tough to penetrate. Mr. Abrams thought that was something that Mike Hubbard could accomplish. Tina Belafonte thought so too, but also Hubbard was bringing to the party, as he announced at he and Tina's first meeting, that he also had contacts with Chick-fil-A, Publix, and Waffle House, which he did get her the contact information, which she admitted was valuable. However, $200,000 later, and they haven't sold a cup.
No, not one cup.
Not one cup.
Not a cup.
Even today.
They said they're still working on some of those accounts, but they just haven't worked out for them.
But you know what? The woman that got them the contact for Walmart, she had Walmart done in a year and a half. Can you imagine what happened?
Well,
anyway.
She's not the speaker.
No, she's not.
But what did Abrams get out of that $200,000? He informed us today that he was paying $12 million in legal fees, and that if he had gotten that patent, but Mike helped him get the patent finished through. If he'd have gotten that patent, it would have saved him around $12 million.
It would have, and it was costing him tens of thousands of dollars a day. Every day was in court.
Yeah, it was big, so he didn't get much for that. But anyway, he also got investment from the state government to help him train his employees.
And, one of those clean room things that they have there for the SIO2.
Sure Mike didn't help him.
No.
Anyway.
He wouldn't have any contact.
No. He did also show that he still used the speaker's moniker as a signature on his personal email or business email.
Exactly.
Everyone knew they were dealing with the Speaker of the Alabama House when they were dealing with him.
The only alternate signature I have seen so far in these emails is from Mike Hubbard's iPad or Mike Hubbard's iPhone. That's the only alternate signature. In
Everyone else says Rep. Mike Hubbard, Speaker of the House, gives his district phone number and address.
Exactly.
Next up was Rob Barton. Rob is the head of Hoare Construction, a very, very big construction company based in Birmingham. He said that he made the investment in Craftmaster Printing, Hubbard's business, Craftmaster Printer, because Mike was a friend.
Yeah, he was a friend.
Yeah.
He even... Wait. They didn't go to all those football games together. Oh, I remember now. Let's see. They went to one football game. They met at one football game. Wasn't that it? Because they both have season tickets. And I think Mike took him and his son down to the sidelines.
Yeah,
that was kind of,
Never
been to each other's
seriously,
house.
the man said he made the investment because Mike was a friend. When he was pressed on the issue, he said, I've never been to Mike's house. He's never been to my house. He took us to one football game. But it turns out that Mr. Barton, who is an Auburn grad and a very wealthy man, had season tickets, and Mike took him and his son down to the sideline, something that Mike could get him a pass to. And he said that they had met at political functions, and that was basically it. But he still considered them.
And why I was doing that is because in the beginning he tried to act all confused about how they didn't understand that he was a friend when they'd done all this stuff together, when in actuality they hadn't. And it doesn't qualify under the ethics laws that you attended football games.
The friendship exception under the ethics law, it means more like you go on vacations together, you're lifelong friends. This is why there's an exception. Next up was the colorful Jimmy Rain playing the yellow fella character to the hill, wasn't he, Susan?
The only thing he didn't have on was his hat. But he did say he had on his boots.
Yes.
And he didn't see Mike Hubbard sitting there. He just saw that fresh-faced boy from Auburn when he first met him in 1984.
Rain said he had met Hubbard when he came here in '84 to work on the Bo Jackson Heisman campaign. And he said when he looks at him now, he still sees that fresh-faced boy. I see a fat-faced man with a middle-aged paunch, but hey, I don't like
Hey,
him.
you know something Jimmy Rain did say today that I thought was quite interesting?
What's that?
When they were showing that building down there in Abbeville, trying to get people to move into it because they need the industry down there, and I can understand that being from
Sure,
Gadsden, okay? That he didn't know Mike Hubbard had a contract with Southeastern Gas District when he was showing that building.
He didn't. Mike Hubbard had agreed to help with some economic development issues in Abbeville. He also agreed to help Marion Military Institute, which is where Raines graduated from, to be taken over by the state to place under a private university.
Under the post-secondary system.
A private school placed under, not a university, but a private high school placed under the university system. And this is all, it was nothing that Mike just doing what he would normally do for anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway,
He always gets paid.
Jimmy Rain gave him $150,000, and he said it was because he was a friend.
Well, yeah.
That's
Kind of
it.
friend.
That kind of friend. I'd
Yeah.
love to have friends like that.
I would too.
A couple of other things. The court let out early today because there was some conflicts with scheduling.
Of course, everybody's had to sit in that courtroom all this time is relieved.
Yeah,
They
it's
can have to
very,
off.
very hot in that courtroom. The air conditioner is overwhelmed by the hot air.
Of the attorneys.
The jurors were a little worn down. I think it's a good thing they had that. These
agree,
jurors
I
have
agree.
been very attentive. They take notes. They listen to what's being said, and they seem relaxed, but they seem attentive, and they're all well dressed.
Yes.
And look like good folks.
They do look like good folks. They look like possible business owners, possible, people that are not just, like a McDonald's worker. I mean, we're talking about people that are probably a little professional here.
Yeah.
They are paying attention. I look to see if they're zoning out. I don't see them zoning out. Maybe one every now and then when we get into a long contention like with Abrams
Yeah.
or something, where they're really trying to explain the complexities of a business or something, which gives me a
But when
brain freeze
someone
anyway.
like Dak Swadek says, I told the speaker he could not ask me for a thing of value, or I couldn't give him a thing of value
Because it would be illegal.
it would be illegal. There's been a lot of that talk. Yesterday was a very good day for the prosecution. Today, it's hard to say.
It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Rain did help Mike Hubbard to some degree. We
He
all
did.
expected
He did.
that was going to happen.
He did.
That's no surprise.
Well,
he didn't help him as much as I thought. I thought he would.
All these men were coached to say friend, 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 friend. It was as if they'd been coached by the same person.
Well, did you notice that every person and this is true throughout the trial, every person that Bill Baxley crosses, the first thing he says is, "We've never met or we've never talked." Probably not. I think he's probably talking to their attorney. What do you think?
Well, I think he's talking about it. But you know what?
I don't know that for
Well,
sure,
he's not-
but
I don't know if he could do it. But
no,
whatever he
I don't
does.
know what he can do. But it just crossed my mind.
Interesting though, Rob Barton and Jimmy Rain. You know why their testimony sounds so similar?
No, tell me.
Because their attorney is Joe Espy.
That's true. It is Joe Espy.
And they really had their pat down. I had told Joe earlier that he definitely had earned his billable hours today. He said he was ready to go back to Montgomery. He had other business. Anything else?
I think that'll do it.
Well, that's going to wrap us up until tomorrow. We got some big names coming tomorrow, haven't we, Susan?
We do. We have Minda Campbell Riley. Minda Riley. I always think of her as Riley. That's why I get it backwards. We have Bob Riley, and I believe who was the other
Billy
one?
Canary?
Billy Canary, yeah.
Yeah, that's who we know for sure is going to be on deck tomorrow.
They were whispering quite a lot, so it was real difficult. Out of 4 or 5 reporters, that's all we could get out of what they were whispering.
Well, for the V and the Alabama Political Reporter, I'm Bill Britt.
And I'm Susan Britt.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you here, right here.